Alright, question 2.6. Mr. Channon, that's not what I wanted. Mr. Channon traveled 450 kilometers in 5 hours. First question is, what is his speed in kilometers per hour? So we've basically got, this is a classic speed, distance, time problem, which I like to just structure the way I think about them, just with a very basic triangle that always has the distance at the top, and it almost has a fraction line in the middle which indicates division, and there's a little vertical line that goes across that separates the speed and the time. But you need to know that that vertical line is kind of the operation between those two is multiplications, whereas the horizontal line is division. So just to give you a very basic example, speed, if I want to work out speed, so let's say I want to work out speed, what speed is in terms of distance and time is it's distance per time. So for example, the units, distance could be kilometers per divide hours. Speed is kilometers per hour. You know that basic definition. So we can basically use this triangle to work out any one of these quantities, whether it's the distance, the time, or the speed. As long as we know which operation to use, we can work it out. So let's actually apply it now. So it says that what is his speed, and we've been given the distance and the time. So we've been given distance and time, so I just need to divide those two. So 450 divided by 5. Okay, just do that very quickly. 450 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 4, 5 goes into 45 9 times, 5 goes into 0 times. So we actually end up with an answer of 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so that's his speed. Then next question, if he traveled at the same average speed, how far could he expect to travel in 36 minutes? Okay, so here we have to be a little bit wary because we've been given a different unit. So we said if he's traveled at the same average speed, so that's the speed there, the 90 kilometers per hour, we've worked that out, that's been given. And it says how far could he expect to travel? Far is distance, so we're going to try work out the distance. And it says he's traveled, time is 36 minutes. But here we can't work with minutes because we're talking about speed in terms of kilometers per hour. So there's that expression, you've got to compare apples with apples. I can't use speed in terms of kilometers per hour and then multiply it by minutes. I have to multiply it by hours. I have to be using the same units. So I'm going to start off by just thinking about what is 36 minutes in terms of how would I convert that into hours? Well, 36 minutes to me, I just think of an hour is 60 minutes. So to me, 36 minutes in terms of hours would be 36 parts of 60, because they're 60 equal parts of a minute, and we're only using 36 of those to make 36 minutes. So in terms of an hour, that's how I would think about it. It's 36/60ths of an hour. That's 36 minutes. And then I can now use that to work out distance, because distance, so D is equal to, looking at the triangle above, S times T. So I'm expecting that the S is 90, and I'm multiplying it by T, which we've now defined in terms of hours as 36/60ths. And hopefully you should know how to work out a fraction of a whole number. It's just a bit of cross-cancelling, and there's actually some nice factors here. I'm just looking at the 36 over 60. I know that 6 goes into both 36 and 60, so 6 goes into 60 10 times, and goes into 36 6 times, and then it's very easy for me to cancel that 10 with the 90. 10 goes into itself once, 10 goes into 90 9 times. So all I'm actually left with is 9 times 6, which is 54. And remember, we're talking about distance, so you have to give the unit 54 kilometers. So just go back to the question, make sure that you have read it correctly. How far could he expect to travel in 36 minutes? Well, 54 kilometers sounds about right, because in 1 hour he's going to travel 90 kilometers, so this is a fraction of an hour, so that seems intuitively right. Okay, moving on to the last question. If he traveled at the same average speed, so once again, that's the speed's going to be 90, how long would it take him to travel 1,080 kilometers? So now we've been given the distance and we're just being asked to work out the time. So this one's actually pretty straightforward. So basically, we want to work out time. Looking at the triangle above, time is equal to the distance divided by the speed, which in this case the distance has been given 1,080 kilometers and the speed was 90 kilometers per hour. So just using short division quickly, 1,080, how many times does 90 go in? Hopefully that's not too tricky. 90 doesn't go into 1, 90 doesn't go into 10, 90 goes into 108 once, and it has a remainder of 18. Oh, and that's very nice, because 18 and 0 is 180. Sorry, that's very messy. 90 goes into 180 twice, perfectly. So that means that our final answer must be 12. And remember, we're working out time, so in this case it's 12 hours. It'll take him 12 hours to travel 1,080 kilometers. And we're done.